Hello, this is Corey Drinkett. We are going to go through the success through effective communication and human relations skills. This is chapter 123. In this chapter, we are going to focus on the essential skills of communication and how human relations can contribute to the success in the sterile processing field. We're going to learn how to explore how mastering these areas can improve the teamwork, our job satisfaction, and the patient, even the patient outcomes. Um, Effective communication is at the heart of every successful sterile processing the operations. Um, us as professionals, we will be interacting with a lot of different people in our field, and not just with each other, but we'll be interacting with the nurses, the surgical techs, um, anyone else outside of our department as well. These interactions must be clear, accurate, and professional to support smooth surgical procedures and patient care. Strong human relation skills like empathy, active listening, and collaboration will help build trust and foster a team-centered environment. Misunderstandings and conflict can arise, which can lead in delays or even serious errors that may compromise patient safety. Uh, as professionals and as a department as a whole, we need to encourage mutual respect. We need to encourage professionalism, and we need to encourage consistent communication in the department, which will help ensure that all the tasks that we do are completed efficiently and correctly. And with doing that, that will benefit not just us, but it will benefit the patients that we are here for. The effective communication and the strong human relation skills are vital in our department. With these skills, they help support both safety and workflow efficiency. As professionals, we are often work behind the scenes. So we're not upfront people. We're not where the doctors are, the nurses and all that. We are behind the scenes. So we need clear and respectful communication with other departments. And those departments can be any department that we um, cater to in the facility that we work in. The good communication will also ensure that instructions are followed correctly, concerns are addressed promptly, and the responsibilities are understood. It will also minimize the risk of error that can compromise patient safety. So strong interpersonal skills foster a team-based culture where trust and mutual respect thrive. The environment helps staff feel valued, which increases morale and job satisfaction. Um, Being able to manage conflict and receive or provide feedback professionally is essential in such a detailed orientated field. So communication in our field has to be crucial. We have to know what's going on, not just within our department and the other shifts that we work with, but we also have to have that communication with the other departments that cater to. And the most important department that we cater to is the OR. We've got to have we have to have the best communication with them as possible. So we have to build that trust. We have to build that respect. We have to build that good communication with the OR, and not just with them, but with every other professionals that we encounter throughout the facility that we work for. The communication barriers that we encounter every day in the communication um, can lead to a series of consequences. So it's essential to recognize and address these common barriers to ensure safe and effective teamwork. Uh, Language differences. These are one of the most common challenges, particularly in diverse workplaces. Misunderstandings can easily arise when individuals are not fluent in the same language, or even when technology is unclear. Um, Language barriers. This is very um, in our field. We have a lot of people from different cultures in our field. I've taught a lot of people that come from different backgrounds, and a lot of times I have a hard time understanding what they say, but I can't stop that from blocking that language barrier between myself and what I'm teaching and what I'm saying to another individual who's not on who doesn't speak the same language as I do. So just because someone speaks a different language, um, you just have to learn how to cope with it and understand their frustrations as well. Because just think of it reversed. If you was in their shoes, how hard is it trying to communicate what you're trying to say to someone else? So just take a deep breath, and if you need to, just ask them to repeat the question or whatever they're asking one more time, and maybe say, hey, just a little bit slower too. So let's deal with the language barrier as much as possible. Distractions. This is such an important thing too, because there is a lot of background noise, equipment alarms, multitasking. All this can cause important messages to be missed or misunderstood. Sometimes we have to step away from all these distractions. Let's move out of the area if we have to and go someplace else to hear. Um, Assumptions are dangerous in any clinical setting. Assuming that someone knows what you mean or that a task has been done without confirmation can result in errors. Never assume. I'm I've been trying to correct myself with this task as much as possible. I try not to assume anything, because most of the times when you assume something, either it's wrong or it's not going to be done correctly. So never assume in anything. I have a hard time doing that myself, but I've been trying to get better at it. Just with me myself. Cultural differences may affect how individuals perceive authority, express disagreement, or deliver feedback. So being sensitive to these differences can improve team dynamics. Going right back to the language differences, there's also culture differences, and with culture differences too, that just does not mean outside of the United States. We can have cultural differences within the United States, within um, um, our own language speaking pe- people that we can even talk to. Um, just think about when you go traveling throughout the United States, people up north, and then you go down south around Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, and all that. They don't talk the same way as the people up north do. Same way with going west or even east. They don't talk the same way. So there's a cultural difference just right there within the United States itself. So think about that too. Also, with cultural differences too, it could even be within the same state. Depends on where you lived at or where you grew up at in those states. Um, just because we all lived in, or I grew up in Indiana, does not mean someone else from in Indiana has had the same type of background as myself. So we got to think about that. Lack of feedback can leave team members uncertain if their messages was understood or if they are performing correctly. Always encourage two-way communication. Remember, we have to work together, and communication, it's a two-way street. I got to be able to communicate with you, and you should be able to come to me and communicate with me, whatever that is. And emotions uh, get the best of us. Stress, frustration can negatively affect tone and clarity. So it's important to remain professional and calm, even under pressure. Emotions lead, and it's not, a lot of times with emotions, it's not from work, it's actually from home. What's going on outside of home that brings that emotion in. So so I try to, once when I hit those doors into my workplace, I try to leave my home emotions out. Let's worry about what's going on at work, because I can't do nothing with my home emotions at work. It's not going to help. So try to leave those at the door, and let's worry about what's going on at, at work. Sometimes it's hard to stop that gap. So we need to be aware of these barriers as the first step in overcoming them and building a stronger and safer work environment. As technicians, we play a crucial role in patient care. As professionals, we are expected to demonstrate integrity, responsibility, and accountability in every task that is given to us. So showing up on time, completing duties accurately, and owning mistakes when they occur. These are these are very important. Showing up on time. If you don't show up on time, it means either somebody's going to have to stay late to cover for you until you get there, or your team, your shift is going to be minus someone because you're not there. Making sure you complete anything accurately. Try to do it the best of your ability. If you're not sure, ask somebody. And most importantly, own your mistakes. I know it's hard, it's rough, but owning your mistakes put you in a better place, especially among your peers, among your leadership. I don't know how many times um, I've made mistakes, and management comes up and say, "Hey, you made a mistake." I'm like, "Okay, let's what am I supposed to do?" So they correct me, I take it, and I move on. I don't get mad. I'll be mad at myself, but I can't be mad at anyone else. So own up to your own mistakes. As professionals, we also have to maintain a clean, appropriate appearance encourages behavior, especially in multidisciplinary environments. We also have to respect patient safety and confidentiality. Everything that we do affects the well-being of patients, and even without direct contact. Also, as technicians, we must commit to lifelong learning, staying current with best practices, with the technology that is out there now, and the regulations and standards to ensure that we meet the highest standards in care in our field. The morale, the legal and ethical, we as professionals, we must uphold these to the highest level, even for our patients. Morality involves doing what is right based on one's personal values and sense of integrity, such as not cutting corners even when no one is watching. The legal. portion of it. This refers to following laws, the regulations, the policies, and the procedures that govern what we do in sterile processing. As you can tell in chapter 6, that we talked over about OSHA, the Joint Commission, FDA, internal policies, AMI, ARN, all of those. We have a legal binding to those um, agencies as well to do the best that we can do in our field. Ethical. It comes from the professional codes of conduct and emphasizes respect, integrity, and professionalism in the workplace. So the moral portion of it is more of what you would do when no one's watching, even in your own personal life. That's a moral standard. And ethical is more of the workplace. Even in workplace with no one watching, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Are you going to do it right all the time, or are you going to try to find ways to cut corners because the OR is screaming at you, you need this like now? So we got to think about all that too. With these principal guides and decisions and actions in the department, we are essential to building trust and delivering safe patient care. We must maintain accountable and recognize that our role directly affects patient outcomes. So we got to remember we are here for the patient. Speaking skills. To communicate effectively in a sterile process environment, it's crucial to develop solid speaking skills. Clarity and confidence in your speech helps ensure your message is understood and taken seriously. This also goes back to the language barrier too. As you can tell with the all the PowerPoints I put out there, I have a speech impediment. I had to own that way back when. I'm more confident in my speech. Yes, I still have the impediment. You can tell it. A lot of people can. I just own up to it. It's mine. It's what happens. Speaking too softly, mumbling, or sounding unsure can lead to confusion. Use your proper grammar and vocabulary enhances professionalism. Avoid any slang or departmental jargon is especially important when speaking to those outside of SPD, such as the surgeons or the nurses or the scrub techs or anyone else that we encounter, especially when they're not familiar with our terms. So as a department, we have a different way of speaking, just like the OR does, the ER does, L and D does. A lot of departments, even in the same facility, we have our own way of speaking, but we got to be careful um, not to confuse those that are on the outside by saying stuff that they don't understand. So we might have to back off and say, hey, this is what I actually mean. Be respectful and professional and use a professional tone, regardless of the stress levels or workplace conflicts. This will help maintain a positive atmosphere and strengthens working relations. Be concise and direct avoids misunderstandings. Time is critical in healthcare setting, so make your points clearly and quickly. Don't just be talking because you like to hear yourself talk. Sometimes we don't have that time to just talk. Get to the point and let's be done. Be done with it. Adjust how you speak based on your audience. This goes back to the language barrier as well. So the way you speak with a fellow technician may differ slightly from how you communicate with the department director or patient care staff. Good speaking skills help ensure safety, efficiency, and collaboration within the healthcare team. Um, with this, how you speak, you got to adjust how you speak. You can't just speak everyday life talking the way you would talk to a friend in your professional life. You can't. You should not do it. It looks bad on you as an individual, but it also will look bad on the department. Don't forget, you are the face of central processing. You're the face of central processing in your facility. So how you speak to other people outside of your department in your facility will regulate how they want to speak back to you as an individual, plus as a department. So be careful on how you actually do speak. Listening skills. This is a vital part of effective communication because this is where misunderstandings can impact patient safety. Good listeners make a conscious effort to focus entirely on the speaker. So this means putting anything aside, any distractions, um, anything that's on your mind needs to be you need to put your focus on who's speaking. You need to make eye contact when it's possible. Interrupting the speaker not only breaks the speaker's thought, uh, um, but it also discourages them from sharing important details. You got to be careful with non-communication. Nodding or maintaining an open posture shows that you're engaged. Don't forget nonverbal communication. That's talking about the body language. How are you standing? Do you have your hands to your side, or are you holding something? Do you have your hands crossed upon your chest? Is your facial expressions showing a whole complete different um, it's saying differently than what you are actually speaking. So you got to make sure all that's done is right. Asking questions or paraphrasing what was said helps confirm understanding and prevents errors. Ask questions, especially when you're on the phone. Sometimes you can't hear all the time. They might speak softly. There's a lot of background from the OR. There's a lot of background in our department. Um, the connection's not that great too. Say, hey, can you repeat that? Or also um, say back what you thought was being said, and said, did I get this correct? This is what you want, and they'll say yes or no. Listening without judgment and keeping an open mind fosters trust and mutual respect with the team. Um, all these habits can strengthen teamwork and contribute to a more effective collaborative work environment. The types of communication in our department takes on several forms, each crucial to safe and effective operations. So we have the verbal communication. This is the most immediate form. It's used for giving directions, answering questions, asking questions, reporting any issues. So when you communicate verbally, you must be clear, conscious, and professional at all times to avoid any types of misunderstandings. Your nonverbal communication. This includes your body language, your facial expressions, your posture, and your eye contact. That is very important too. All these cues can reinforce or contradict verbal messages, so awareness is important, especially when interacting with team members or other departments. Another form of communication is written. So this type of form is the backbone of standardized work in our department. So written can include the policies, the procedures, manufacturer's IFUs, any documentation of a completed task. Accuracy and attention to detail are essential. Another form is electronic communication. Electronic communication has grown throughout the years. Um, so this is going to play an important part in our communication styles too, because now we have emails. We can text. We can send stuff over social media. So keep the we got to keep these systems to allow quick updates and tracking. Professionalism and confidentiality must always be maintained in the digital exchanges. Understanding and effectively using all these communication types is key to maintaining workflow, safety, and compliance in the sterile processing environment. Um, Technology, telephone, stuff like this. Uh, as professionals, we have to extend on how we use everyday tools like phones and technology. Your telephone etiquette. This is very important because we use phones a lot, whether it's a cell phone or a landline phone. This is essential. So calls should be answered promptly and with a friendly, professional tone. Use respectful language. Identify yourself and your department, and avoid putting callers on hold for too long. Conversations should remain focused on work matters. If you're the one that has the phone or you answer the phone, be professional. When I answer the phone for our department for sterile processing, I say sterile processing. This is Corey. How can I help you? That is um, giving the department of who they called, giving my name, saying this. I'm the one that's talking to you, and then what can I help? What can I do for you? Why are you calling me? What can I help you with? That's a professional way of saying stuff. Um, and if you don't know something, um, just say, hey, let me get your name and your number, and I will give you a call right back, and follow up with that as well. So don't place them on hold for too much long as well. Technology. Technology has been growing throughout the years. So frequently use of computers, tracking systems, and barcodes. We use these every day. So it's important to use these tools responsibly. So personal use of facility devices is generally prohibited during hours. If there's a technical issue, you need to report it immediately to prevent delays in the workflow. With all the technology we have out there, if you're working on a facility's computer, keep it work related. Don't be checking your personal email on it. Don't be checking your banking account. Don't be checking Facebook. Don't be doing all that because you're not supposed to be doing that on work time. They monitor that. They monitor that stuff as well. So be careful with all that. Music. This is a gray area as well. So this varies from facility to facility, and also it varies from shift to shift. If you are allowed to have music, make sure it does not interfere with any type of communication with other technicians or the phones, or distracting in anyone from their duty. So keep it at a level that you can still have a normal conversation without raising your voice higher above the music that's being played. Um, Always with music too. Um, be careful with what type of music you're playing. Granted, not everyone likes the same type of music, but just be respectful from everyone else that's in the department too. Um, Try to keep away from music that has foul language, inappropriate lyrics. Just be careful of that too. If headphones are permitted, but make sure the volume is down low. Most of the time, headphones are not. If they are, they usually want one in one ear, and you got to have one ear left left open. Always prioritize a professional and productive environment. Following these etiquette guidelines will help support a safe and respectful workplace in sterile processing. Teamwork. Uh, we play a vital role in supporting patient care through collaboration. Teamwork is not just helpful, it's essential. No technician works in isolation. Each person is responsible for contributing to the overall quality and safety of the department. When technicians work well together, sharing information, assisting each other, communicating openly, the entire workflow improves. Tasks are completed more accurately and efficiently. And when that's done, it directly supports our patient safeties. Teamwork also extends beyond our department. So, as in teamwork, we got to be as a team with the OR, with every other department in our facility. So we must work as a team as a facility itself. As technicians, we must remain professional, cooperative relationships with the operating room staff, nurses, and other clinical personnel. All these connections will help ensure that instruments and supplies are delivered and processed in a timely, correct manner. So, as a strong teamwork, we need to build on mutual respect and open communication. Leads to better morale, fewer errors, and a more productive healthcare environment. Diversity, it is strong in our department. Goes back with the language barrier too, and the cultural portion of it. This is essential to creating a respectful, inclusive, and high-functioning workplace. It involves recognizing and valuing differences in backgrounds, such as culture, ethnicity, gender identity, religion, and personal values. In the healthcare, diverse teams are better equipped to communicate effectively, solving problems creatively, and provide quality service that aligns with the variety needs of the community. Diverseness encourages open mindedness and reduce the risk of miscommunication and conflict. Staff are more likely to feel respected and valued, which promotes morale and retention. Training in diversity and inclusion helps to identify and mitigate unconscious bias, those automatic thoughts and assumptions that may negatively affect how team members interact. Um, as professionals, we need to embrace diversity because they contribute to a healthier or, or organizational culture and are better prepared to support the diverse population, even of the patients and our own per personnel that we work with. Diversity is a big, um, it's huge. Most people think of diversity as race, as religion, as sex. It goes much more beyond that too. There's diversity in your where do you go to church, your how you was raised. That's a diversity in itself. Your age is a diversity now. Um, stuff like that. So we just got to be being careful of how we treat each other in our field. Customer service. So this is a vital skill for us because it directly affects both patient outcomes and the perception of the healthcare facility. As technicians, we serve two types of customers: internal, which is the nurses, the surgeons, anyone within the healthcare, and external are the patients, the families, anyone that's coming into our facility. Those are externals. Uh, so the key to customer service traits include showing courtesy and respect at all times, practicing patience, especially when you're under pressure. You need to practice that patience and listening actively to concerns. When issues arise, they should be addressed promptly in empathy without becoming defensive. It is also important to maintain confidentiality and adhere strictly to facility policies. So communication is at the core of good customer service. Clear professional dialogue helps build trust and reduce misunderstandings. So taking ownership of responsibilities, including follow-up on any concerns or questions. So this will also demonstrate reliability and a commitment to service excellence. With the media that we communicate with. So it's essential to understand your role when it comes to interacting with the media. If a media representative contacts you, do not at any time provide any statements or information. Instead, you need to refer them to your facility's public relations or communications department. Um, Only individuals who are officially trained and authorized, typically PR representatives, should address the media on behalf of the facility. This ensures consistent messaging and protects the institution's reputation. Patient confidentiality, we've talked about that. This is part of HIPAA as well. We need to under no circumstances should you disclose any patient-related information, even if the inquiry seems general or harmless. Uh, if you violate this portion of that, it's serious legal and ethical consequences, and you can actually be dismissed of it. So avoid offering personal opinions, guesses, or hypothetical responses. The media can sometimes be unexpected or pressured, but always remain calm, polite, and professional. So your primary responsibility is to protect the integrity of your department and facility. Just be careful about the media that you're even on your phone, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you use. Be careful. Um, Sometimes a lot of facilities, not and not just healthcare, but a lot of other places too, will monitor their employees' social media to see what they say against their own company. So just be careful about social media um, itself. Here are your objectives. Look them over, see how you would um, answer them according to what you've gotten out of this lesson. Your workbook assignments. Your exercise is on page 109. Your review quiz is on 110. So remember, after you get done with your review quiz, please put it in ThinkWave or email me that that score so I can upgrade it into the system. There's my information. If you need to contact me, feel free to.